Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to just share with you guys what I did and learned during my day of silence. If you saw my last video, you saw that I was prepping for it and just getting everything all together, and something that I will say is that I think I overdid it. I definitely used less things than I thought I would, which is a good thing. Like, I think I was able to take my time slowly and just less is more. So I wanted to just share some things with you guys that I learned, that I did, and just share with you guys the experience. To start off, I just wanted to say like what we did. It was a day of silence, so kind of like a silent retreat, and just a time where we could, and I say we because it was like a group of ladies from church and I, just a time to spend before the Lord. No phones, no social media, no TV, no music, no conversations with people, just really separating ourselves and just being before the Lord. And it's almost like fasting. That's kind of like what I would describe it like. And I think it went really well. I really enjoyed it, and I felt like it really grounded me and like reset me. Definitely showed me a lot about myself and just different things that God needs to either work through, or like things that he has worked through that I just didn't notice. So I kind of wanted to go through, I did journal a lot and kind of wanted to take you guys, I'm trying to decide what's the best way to do this and kind of share with you guys what I did. I think I'm going to start with my art. I did set aside things to Bible journal and paint, which I didn't end up doing tons of Bible journaling. I mostly just wrote notes in my Bible, if I did any. But what I did do was do some painting. And here, I'll show it to you guys. It's not like the most beautiful thing because, one, it's not finished, so. But it's interesting how God works, because I've been wanting to get back into painting for a really long time, and I just haven't found the time or the desire to. Not desire, more like motivation. Like, I've been wanting to, but I haven't had the motivation. But I did take the time, and it definitely has a lot more work that needs to be done and something I can continue working on. But what I did throughout the day is just kind of like every hour come back to it and just add more color. So I did add just a layer for the whole thing, and then I started with the leaves, then I went in with the flowers, and then I did more in the background because I wanted more contrast, which you can't see too well on camera. And then I went back in with the leaves, more with like where I want my flowers and the color behind it. Then I still need to go in and obviously touch up my leaves and touch up the flowers, and there's a lot more that needs to get done. This is nowhere near finished, but it just gave me a baseline for painting again and just for how I want this painting to turn out. So I'm going to continue to work on this. Another thing I did do was read. Besides reading my Bible, I read some books. So I did finish Made According to Pattern, and I did finish The Protector, and I didn't allow myself this fun book because it was Christian based and stuff, and I felt like it's okay to enjoy something even in the presence of the Lord. So I did finish both these books. I was about halfway through this one, which is a really good read. If you want more information on like Tabernacle and just the breakdown of what it was built out of, all the furniture pieces, all that stuff, he does an excellent job at just breaking it down, and it's so easy to read, and just things that I never would have thought to put together, or even been like, oh, these numbers mean something, the colors mean something. Like, there is a lot of work that has gone into this book, and it is great. So if you are looking for a book that's going to explain more about the tabernacle and just all those things, his book is really good. And I know he has another one on the offerings and all that stuff, kind of breaking it down the same way as this, the offerings and the sacrifices, and then another one on the garments that the priests had to wear. So definitely something to look into if that's something you want to learn more about. An excellent job with this, and I think it worked perfectly with where I was reading at in the Bible. Then this one I did finish, and you know my love for D. Henderson, so if you've watched any of my reading vlogs, you know that I do like her writing. It's so funny. It's almost like watching your favorite YouTuber vlog or whatever. They can be cutting potatoes and you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. So it's kind of like that. Like, they're definitely more slow paced, and they're not like this like crazy things are happening, or like it's very normal, and I just love reading them. And I did like just journal a little and take notes, and not notes, but like I wanted to remember and just write down how I was feeling. So like at first it was kind of like time is going by slowly, and you know how like when you're working and only 2 hours have gone by and you feel like you've been there forever. It was kind of like that, except for it wasn't like a dreadful like, wow, this day's going by slow. It's kind of like, wow, I still have so much more time left, like this is great. I felt more energized, more at peace. So it just showed me that when I'm not constantly worried about the things of this world, thinking about when I'm finally gonna be able to do something or eat something or watch something, that time goes by slowly, but in a good way. I'm not rushing through my life. And everyone is really loud today, so I apologize if you can't hear them. Sometimes I say that when I edit because like you have no idea how loud, but those are the days that I'm happy that I used my mic because it's loud. Something I also learned is that I can be more gentle. I am more gentle than I think I am, or that I think I can be, because I think I tend to be very rough or harsh when I speak, when I do things. Frustrated, even like when dealing with the dog, I can get very frustrated, and I can be quick to like raise my voice, not necessarily yelling, but like being very, very firm and like, ah. But God just showed me like, you barely spoke to the dog yesterday. You were just calm, peace, cool, and he listened. He obeyed all the commands. There's no need to get so worked up at all. Like there's a verse in the Bible, something about a gentle spirit, or a verse, I don't know. The Lord was just like, you are more gentle than you think you are. You just need to remember that and live it out. That's something that, God showed me. And then something else is just that rest is important. Rest is good. Rest is healing. And it's okay to rest, because I can tend to be the person to push through, especially like with naps and stuff. I don't normally nap, and I can feel not guilty when I nap, but I'm like, I could have been doing something else. Less guilty, more like I feel like it was a waste of time. But God really showed me that like it's okay to rest. Rest is important, and I think God showed me that because like I really wasn't doing much yesterday, and he was kind of like, rest. Like I could feel it, and I did. And I didn't wake up cranky, and like I felt re-energized, so it was great. I feel like I'm competing against all the noise. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to say to you guys. I will say, this is something that I plan to do again. It was worth it, and I felt like it just really settled my soul, and just really put my focus back on God, especially with all the craziness that's going on in this world. So this is definitely something that I want to continue, even if I can't do it like every month, but every few months, a few times a year, just to reset my life. And I can see it being something that I will need to do, want to do, to really make sure that I'm a better person. Because when my focus is on God, I can love the way he loved, show mercy the way he showed mercy, share truth the way he did, and just be more like him. And I know this is something I'm going to want to do for the future. So definitely so much good came out of this, and I'm happy that I did do this. So if you've been thinking about just being silent before the Lord, resting or fasting, definitely do it. Even if it's not a whole day that you can set aside. It was very hard to set aside a whole day. We decided months before, we just picked a date because we were going through our calendar. We're like, oh, we have this. And my spiritual mama, she's part of the group, she was just like, we need to pick a date, and then we need to stick to that date and say, like, even when things get planned, even if other people want to make plans, we need to say no, that day is set aside. So we kind of just picked a date and just stuck our ground. And let me tell you, things came up. People wanted to do things, and it was hard. But it's like we stood our ground and said, no, this day is for the Lord. So even if it's just an hour or a few hours or just part of your day that you can set aside, I would highly encourage you to try this. I would definitely say I overplanned. I did not need as much of the things that I pulled out for myself to have. The Bible journaling things, even the Bible studying things, like my commentaries that I pulled out, I didn't need all of that. What I used are my 2 books that I was reading, my Bible, my life application Bible, and then my painting stuff, because that is something I felt like God wanted me to do. And I'm happy I pulled it out first, because if I would have, the day I've been like, I want to paint, I could have gotten lost in all my craft stuff because I got a lot of things. So I will say it was helpful having the stuff prepared because there was no distractions in looking for what I needed to do. So that's really all I have to share about it. I know more things that happened will come through and will pop in my mind, and I'll share them. But for the most part, that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys. And I hope this is an encouragement to you guys to be still before the Lord and to really give him time, make him priority in your life, because it's hard, especially with everything that we have going on. It can be hard to prioritize life. It can be hard to prioritize God. So this is just me sharing what I did, and hopefully it's an encouragement to you to do something similar, and to really put God first, especially during this season when we are just being reminded of his birth and why he came to save us in the first place. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.